I can start, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, can you make it a little bigger? Okay, good. Hello. Hare. Prabhu, can I start?
Yes, Mataji, I can start. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritam Naranjayva Narottam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayamudire Praya Shokadeshu Nitya Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavadinesh. Hare Krishna. I am reading the book Namacharya, the life of Srila Haridasa Thakura by His Holiness Rupa Vilasadasa. Fire is certainly devoid of life, but devotees and brahmanas are the living representatives of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, to feed brahmanas and Vaishnavas is to feed the Supreme Personality of Godhead directly. It may be concluded that instead of offering the fire sacrifices, one should offer foodstuffs to Brahmanas and Vaishnavas, for that process is more effective than the fire yajna. The vivid example of this principle in action was given by Advaita Prabhu when he performed the Shraddha ceremony for his father, her first of all called Haridasa Thakura, and offered him food. It is the practice that after finishing the Shraddha ceremony, one should offer food to an elevated Brahmana. But Advaita Prabhu offered food first to Haridasa Thakura, who had taken his birth in a Mohammedan family. Therefore, Haridasa Thakura asked Advaita Prabhu why he was doing something which might jeopardize his position in Brahmana society. Advaita Prabhu replied that he was feeding millions of first class Brahmanas by offering the food to Haridas Thakura. He was prepared to talk with any learned Brahmana on this point and proved definitely that by offering food to a pure devotee like Haridasa Thakura, he was equally as blessed as he would have been by offering food to thousands of learned Brahmanas. When performing sacrifices, one offers oblations to the sacrificial fire, but when such oblations are offered to Vaishnavas, they are certainly more effective. The word asakrit is significant, for it means not just for a few minutes but continuously. That is the instruction given by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Shishtashtaka Kirtaniya Sadahari Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 17.31. The holy name of the Lord should be chanted 24 hours daily. Therefore, in this Krishna consciousness movement, we request the devotees to chant at least 16 rounds on their beads daily. Actually, one has to chant 24 hours daily, just like Haridasa Thakura, who was chanting the Hare Krishna mantra 300,000 times daily. Indeed, he had no other business. Some of the Goswamis, like Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, were also chanting very rigidly and also offering obeisances very rigidly. As stated in Srinivasa Acharya's prayer to the sixth Goswami, Sat Goswami Ashtaka, Sankhya Purvaka Namagana Nadhipi Kalavasini Krado. The word Sankhya Purvaka means maintaining a numerical strength. Not only was Raghunatha Dasa Goswami chanting the holy name of the Lord, but he was also offering obeisances in the same prolific numbers. In this verse, the word Daya Jiveshu, meaning mercy to other living entities, indicate that a living entity must be merciful to other living entities if he wishes to make progress in self realization. This means he must preach this knowledge after perfecting himself and understanding his own position as an eternal servant of Krishna. Preaching this is showing real mercy to living entities. Other types of humanitarian work may be temporarily beneficial for the body, but because a living entity is spiritual soul, ultimately one can show him real mercy only by revealing knowledge of his spiritual existence. As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Jivera Swarupa Hare Krishnena Nityadasa. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya 20.108. Every living entity is constitutionally a servant of Krishna. One should know this fact perfectly and should preach it to the mass of people. If one realizes that he is an eternal servant of Krishna but does not preach it, his realization is imperfect. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakura therefore sings Dushtamana Tumi Kisera Vaishnava Pristara Tare Niranjanera Gare Tava Harinama Kevala Kaitava. My dear mind, what kind of Vaishnava are you? Simply for false prestige and a material reputation, you are chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in a solitary place. In this way, people who do not preach are criticized. There are many Vaishnavas in Vrindavan who do not like preaching. They chiefly try to imitate Haridasa Thakura. The actual result of their so called chanting in a secluded place, however, is that they sleep and think of women and money. Similarly, one who simply engages in temple worship but does not see to the interest of the mass of people or cannot recognize devotees is called a Kanishta Adhikari. Archayamev haraye पूजं यः श्रद्धयेद एहदे न तत् भक्तेषु चान्येषु sabakta prakrita smrta. In this regard, Chaitanya Charitamrita Antyalila 3.177 to 188 describes Haridasa Thakura's confirmation to the effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Keha bele nama haide haya baba shaya Keha bale nama haide jivera mokshahaya. Some say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is freed from all the reactions of sinful life, and others say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one attains liberation from material bondage. Haridasa kahena namera e tui fala naya namera pale Krishna pade prema upajaya. Haridasa Thakura, however, said that the desired result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is not that one is liberated from material bondage or freed from the reactions of sinful life. The actual result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is that one awakens his dormant Krishna consciousness, his loving service to the Lord. Anusangika phala namera mukti papa nasha tahara prasthana echet suryera prakasha. Haridasa Thakura said that liberation and freedom from the reactions of sinful activities are only byproducts of chanting the holy name of the Lord. If one chants the holy name of the Lord purely, he attains the platform of loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this regard, Haridasa Thakura gave an example comparing the power of the holy name to sunshine. Hare Krishna. This chapter explains the glories of Srila Haridasa Thakura. What an exemplary devotee he was. Even though he was born in a Mohammedan family, he chanted the holy name 300,000 times daily. In ISKCON, it is recommended to chant at least 16 times. By chanting the holy name, one is freed from all sinful reactions and liberation from material bondage. It awakens the dormant relationship with the Paramatma or Super Soul. By chanting the holy name, the individual is performing all Vedic rituals, or we do not have to perform any sacrifices or rituals if we chant the holy name. Then he talks about giving charity and food stuff to brahmanas, which is more effective than fire sacrifice. Advaita Prabhu, before he did Shraddha ceremony for his father, he invited Haridasa Thakura and gave him food, even though he was born in a low class family. When asked about it, Advaita Prabhu said that giving food to Haridasa Thakura is equal to offering food to millions of first class brahmanas. This shows the greatness of Haridasa Thakura, what an exalted personality he is. Devotees must preach the knowledge after he perfected himself. We have to be kind and merciful to other human beings in order to make progress in self realization. Understand our position as the eternal servant of Krishna. Jivera Surupera Haya Krishna Nityadasa. Haridasa Thakura said, when sun begin to rise, it dissipates the darkness of night even before the sunshine is visible. Similarly, by chanting the holy name, frees us from all sinful reactions and becomes a lover of Krishna. Hare Krishna.